So, dude, episode 001 of the It's Not, the first of the It's Not Too Weird podcast. How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to be recording.
So we want to talk about Star Wars, right?
Star Wars, yeah. Something very close to my heart, right next to the cholesterol. But yeah, so I like Star Wars. I'm not one of those people. I haven't grown up with Star Wars. I was quite a latecomer to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm 32 now, and I probably started to watch it. I was around your age, 24. Which is quite relevant, really, because do you want to explain what we're going to do? What you propose?
Well, yeah, this is the experiment that we've laid out for ourselves. I'm someone who hasn't watched any Star Wars. I'm one of those rare people.
I can't believe my own flesh and blood. My own cousin has not watched Star Wars.
I'm a disappointment.
Though, it's not too late, because it wasn't too late for me at your age. You can always redeem. You can always...
It's maybe you could argue I'm fated to watch Star Wars. But anyway, the plan is that we start from the episode 1, right?
Episode 1, yeah.
And we go through one a night until we're up to date.
Yeah.
Well, up until Rogue One.
No, Rogue One's one of the... no, see, you're getting it wrong already. I can't believe this. But no, we're going to go... We'll talk about it in episodes, because even I sometimes get confused on the names. Not...
All right, yeah.
Not confused,
cool.
But yeah, so we'll go to episode 7, which is the latest one. We've got a new one coming out in December. That's episode 8, so that's The Last Jedi. So we're going to try and get it all in. Well, we will, because we'll do it one a night. Sure, and then, I mean, I'm going to do it again to refresh myself, because I really enjoy the films and everything, but I'm not what you'd call a fanboy, so I'm going to do it with you. We're going to do it,
So that means
together.
You enjoy all the films, and you enjoy the theories.
Yeah, I enjoy... I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not... I know a lot of people that are way more into Star Wars than me, basically. And they read all the books, collect the memorabilia and things like that. I don't do that. I just really love the films. I watch all the animated stuff. So I watch Clone Wars, Rebels. So I'll go a little bit further than someone that just watches the films, but I don't go into all the theory, I don't know all the backstories of things, but I love them films. And
you don't cosplay as Obi-Wan?
No, although, if someone wants to give me a Force Effects Obi-Wan lightsaber, I'd happily take that, and that would give me many, many days and hours and weeks of joy.
Would you do it? If you were presented with a situation where you've met some, mates who are equally into Star Wars as you are, and they were like, dude, we're thinking about going to London Comic Con. Do you want to tag along? And
maybe, I'm not against it. I know that we've talked about we'd like to go to Comic Con anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd like to experience that. Yeah. Who would you go as if you were going to choose a Star Wars character?
Well, that's a good question.
Oh, I mean, it'll probably be lost on me, to be honest, because I threw out Obi-Wan because I know that name, but...
Obi-Wan is probably a firm favourite for me, but whether I can pull off, the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan, I don't know. That's...
You could pull off an Ewok.
Ewok, that's what I'm thinking. Naturally, I'm probably built like an Ewok, which, not the favourite. But... So we're going to rewatch them all. Yeah. In time for the new one. And we're going to see what you think, basically, and look at Star Wars from someone's fresh eyes that had just picked up the films. You don't really know much surrounding it other than what is unavoidable, It's such a big franchise that...
My experience with Star Wars is... I think I watched one of the noughties films. Okay,
so episode 1 to 3.
Yeah, when I was young. I don't remember it, but also I got I bought my mum got me a Jar Jar Binks toy because I thought it looked cool and I really wanted it. It had a stretchy tongue.
Amazing.
Because I know he's got this really long tongue, and I saw it and I just wanted it because I thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
Not because I was into Jar Jar Binks.
Well, Yeah, you see, this is where in this episode I don't want to give too, because we can talk about these characters, but I almost want you to have fresh. I know you probably heard some things surrounding each character, but I want you to have fresh perspective, and I want.
I virtually I have no context for anything though. I don't know where Princess Leia comes into it.
Oh, cool! You just know the names basically.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
It.
Yeah, you see, this is because I got into Star Wars late and I started to look up information about Star Wars before I started to watch it. I sort of went in with that muddled idea, other people's ideas basically of what they thought about the films, and you get this group think about each episode and people's interpretation and things like that. And I don't want to start discussing all of that now, but I'm happy that you're going in without that that blurred vision of someone else's idea, without an expectation basically.
Yeah.
So that's exciting for me, because it feels like I might be able to relive it again with fresh eyes, and that's quite exciting. So yeah, we'll start with episode 1, work through. I think we should do it in. I know it might not be feasible with our timings and everything, but I think the quicker we watch them, so one a night.
Yeah.
And then I think it all stays fresh. That's kind of how I did it the first time round up to episode 6 anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way I need to do it. Just have a crash course in Star Wars.
Sure.
I'm up for it though, I'm excited at the prospect of getting into a new franchise.
yeah.
Which is crazy because Star Wars is such a household name, and it's funny that I haven't even delved into one of the films really. Yeah,
that's how I felt. I think in a weird sort of way, because it's so popular, it was almost a little bit intimidating to me. Not intimidating in any sort of scary sense, but just you feel a little bit like you don't know where to start. And I know logically you start from episode 1, but it felt like this big universe that I was like, have I got the energy to sort of get into this? But yeah, once I did, I was just sort of hooked from the beginning really. That whole idea.
I'm hoping that I'm gonna get the same sort of enjoyment out of it as I did from the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Sure.
Sort of that.
The fantasy, escapism, that sort of thing.
That's the word I'm looking for.
That's definitely what, and I know we look for that in other things that we we share, like Lord of the Rings, things like that. So I'm feeling like you probably will get that from this, as I did. So
because I've certainly got that geeky trait in me. Where I can anything to do with I mean I like sci-fi movies. That's the thing, It's kind of weird to me that I haven't gotten into Star Wars at this point, but better now than
never too late, my friend. My young Pt.1, if that's the right way to say it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've broken out a few references in the past, and I'm just okay.
That's it. I need you to
finally come full circle.
No, it is great. There's a lot of
sorry about
very
that.
Nice that. Can we edit that out?
How rude on the first podcast.
On the first one, you're really setting the tone here. But yeah, it's great. I said it earlier about me not being a fanboy, but that's just I sort of explained what that means to me. But I know a lot of people that I would class as fanboys, and their enthusiasm about it, and their grievances sometimes about some of the new storyline and things like that. I just find it fascinating. The passion that it inspires in people, that I find fascinating and interesting. And I think
because it's a huge world, right? I mean,
the way
facets to Star Wars.
Yeah, sure. The way they expand the backstories of characters and things like that. Although I don't get as immersed in all of that as someone else, I still appreciate, because I've watched the films and things like that, you can appreciate other people's passion in that sort of aspect of things, like all the tiny details, they've pretty much got backstories for all the, do you know, the stormtroopers, the guys in the white, they've
yeah.
pretty much got backstories for a lot of those in the film and things like that. Yeah, it's amazing, it really is.
How does that work though? Because they're not even named, are they?
Well, they go into that in the backstories. They do have names, yeah, without sort of going into what we can discuss in the next episode. But yeah, they do have names at the end of the day.
Okay. That is very
so there's
in-depth.
things like that. I mean, you can take it as far as you wanna go. Really, that's what I like about it.
That's cool. A lot of room to geek out over it.
Yeah, definitely. It scratches a certain kind of itch for me anyway. Geek itch, a nerd itch. That sounds a bit wrong.
I think you should get that checked out.
A nerd itch as opposed to a jock itch.
Yeah. Which one's worse? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, obviously, the originals from like 70s and 80s, is that the time span?
That's the time span,
Yeah. Obviously, they're regarded as classics.
Yeah.
But how are people... and I also know there's the 1 to 3, is it? Episodes 1 to 3?
Yeah.
They've been met with a bit of mixed reviews, you know.
Yeah, sure.
This criticism. But how are people reacting to the new films, the most recent ones?
That again, I guess is mixed. I really liked it. That's one of the main things I can say. Has met a lot of criticism about being very similar to one of the one of the episodes of Star Wars. There's a lot of parallels that they draw. I'm not gonna give all of this away. I want you to watch it, but sure. It has received a little bit of criticism, but they always will, won't they? It's such a... People are so invested in this thing. One thing I'm surprised about is they... now Disney's taken it over, this might surprise you, they have actually got rid of a lot of the old backstories of characters. So all of this time and effort that people have invested in reading what they call legends... has now changed. Disney's now changed it to a new story. So all of the not all of them, there's a lot of crossover, but some of the backstories of characters Disney's changed them completely. And I'm quite surprised the people that I know personally that love Star Wars and have read all the Legends material and things like that, they're not that bothered. They're like sort of embracing the new story.
Okay.
Now
they just like the idea of having more.
More, yeah. They like it. And I'm not sure how I would feel if I'd put all that time in. I didn't. Like I say, I don't read I've done no reading on the Legends stuff. But yeah, I don't know how I'd feel. I'd maybe feel a little bit robbed, but I don't know. Then maybe I'd just be excited, as I am. I am excited to have all this new material coming out, sure. New films.
Yeah. I can imagine. Like, I put myself in the same shoes as if, you know, another Lord of the Rings movie was coming out. Yeah.
If they just decided to change the.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so bothered about it
as long as it's new
I'd just
and
be happy
good
for more content.
Yeah. But yeah, really,
there's always diehards, isn't there, in every franchise. I can respect that. Yeah,
and I think everything. I think it's unavoidable. Something this size for it to meet no criticism. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's great. So you're going to be getting into that? That's going to be...
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to listen back to this if I feel like it, but to see the contrasts with... Because I don't know whether we mentioned that we're planning to do another podcast, and that's going to summarise our thoughts after we've watched the films.
Yeah, sure.
That's the point of doing this sort of pre-Star Wars podcast. Yeah,
so this is just like the prelude to our opinions and thoughts after we've watched them.
Yeah.
Which,
and I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And
hopefully I'll be able to answer them. It's going to be a good test, you know. It's going to be good for me to rewatch the films to refresh, because I get personally because I've watched, say, Clone Wars and Rebels and things, I get a little bit lost in all the names and things, and like I'm not amazing at retaining like the information of where the backstories and things like that.
Sure.
So yeah, it's going to be good for me to refresh it and refresh that and get back on board. But yeah, I'm excited about it too because yeah, any opportunity to get a bit more Star Wars in. It's,
awesome. Is it, when you watch the films back, do you find yourself picking up information, like little bits of information that you didn't before?
Yeah, definitely.
Each time,
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those. Just watching it from that. It's like when you rewatch anything, when you know the sort of end where things go and how they end. You start picking up the tiny little nuances in the storyline that are directing you towards that conclusion. So that's kind of what it gives me, once I've watched it. But yeah, I haven't rewatched it in a long time. So
I see. You're ready for it.
It's going to be fresh.
Your body is ready.
I obviously, episode 7 I've seen the most recently, The Force Awakens. So, but still, that's not. I've watched that twice. So
yeah.
On the scale,
is that the first of the newer films?
Yeah, the first of
films?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I did actually watch the trailer for that because it was trending on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just in my recommended, and the bit where Harrison Ford and Chewie.
Oh yeah.
Han Solo and Chewie sort of emerge.
Yeah.
And people in the comments were like talking about how like they teared up at
the
sight of that, and people were going crazy over that big reveal.
Yeah, it is a special thing.
Yeah.
Like you get that. I got the hairs on the back of my neck up when I first saw the Millennium Falcon. I think that was the bit for me that like.
Oh god!
Was like, wow.
No idea.
It's like, well, yeah, okay, well.
Millennium, is that one of the ships?
Yeah. You're there.
What do they? Oh, it'll all be revealed to me anyway. I just like it's producing so many questions in my head, like even down to what do they call their like vessels that they fly around?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Spaceships.
Spaceships, yeah. The there's different names for them. Like
right.
the Rebels and the Empire have got different.
Oh, something else I should add. I did play Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, Star Wars Battlefront, the original.
I think the original.
Not the like. There's the new games, isn't there, that have come out? I think the first one was 2015. But so before that.
Before that, I played it on PSP, and I think it was Star Wars Battlefront 1.
Yeah, sure.
I was addicted to that game.
Yeah, I never played those. I haven't even played the newer Battlefront games.
Right.
Yeah, again, that's something. I mean, it's a question mark whether my PC will run them these days, but
yeah, it looks quite heavy.
It does look because there's a new Battlefront 2 has just come out, or is it out fully? I don't know if I was watching someone, if it was still in the testing phase, but anyway, yeah, it does look amazing. You can play some like main characters, and looks really like graphically beautiful. And I'm sort of whenever I see that, I'm like, will my PC run that?
Yeah, you're right. It did look awesome.
But yeah, it would be good to play some of the characters.
Yeah. I mean,
you'll get that once you've watched it.
Yeah. God, like Siths. I just know terms. It's like a language that I know the basics of but can't understand.
Okay, yeah. So
like
because it's such a massive thing. You can't avoid certain information on it. Like it's just going to seep in. You're just going to get the names. That's how I sort of started. Names like Han Solo and Chewie and
Princess Leia.
And
I know that like the whole like slave Leia costume is a bit of a
nerd fantasy. The original
fantasy, yeah. All of the hot cosplayers seem to do a slave Leia.
Yeah. If you can pull that one off, you're a pretty decent cosplayer, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the test, the original nerd fantasy test.
Who's the actor who played the original?
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
she's she died recently.
Oh really?
Which is a shame. Just finished filming, I think, for the film that's just about to come out.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah,
because I don't know if they had planned her departure that early, whether she was going in this new one that's coming out anyway. But
yeah.
I haven't sort of read anything around that. But yeah, it's a shame. So she definitely won't be in the one after this one coming out, episode 8.
God rest her. Yeah, it's cool that she's been immortalised in those films. I mean, she'll forever be like a legend in the Star Wars community.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where. Well, I can't talk. See, we've got to watch them. I want to start talking about The Last Jedi, but I can't yet. So soon. Oh mate, once we watch them, this would be great. We can watch all there's so many theories around. There's basically some big question marks in The Force Awakens that are going to get answered in The Last Jedi, and all the theories that are surrounding them. I find them fascinating. You know, I've seen such varying theories. Like, everybody seems to have theories on who's related to this, that, the other. So it'll be great once we've watched them all. We can start discussing that, because I have to sort of wait till I see the certain people till I can get in depth about all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, man. Like I said, I have the capacity to geek out over things. Like, you know, I do play the Elder Scrolls games, and like a big Lord of the Rings fan. Any sort of fantasy I'm into. Yeah. And some sci-fi movies, like I said. So yeah, I've got the feeling that I'm really going to take to it.
Yeah, amazing. We're gonna, before you know it, we're gonna have like all the Force effects lightsabers. We're gonna be going to any Star Wars convention there is going. But yeah, it seems to do that to people. It's one of those things, you know. So who knows? We could be bitten. Like, you know, I'm sort of semi-bitten. I'm probably like a day walker, but I need to fully turn.
You need your Star Wars serum.
I don't know why I'm bringing like a Blade reference into a Star Wars discussion. Yeah. But yeah, amazing. So, awesome. Yeah, we could wrap this up here. Get prepped. Yeah, we're gonna watch the first one tonight, aren't we? Episode 1 tonight. Yeah. All right. Cool.
We're doing it in the right order, you say?
Yeah. We'll go. We'll start. Yeah. Start from 1. And go. We won't watch. Yeah, I think that's the way it's done now.
It's funny, like, how that was the decision of who was in charge of like episodes 1 to 3.
George Lucas.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you see, these are controversies we can get into later when we're a bit more buffed up on our Star Wars. We can start talking about these, because I think what we're going to watch the remastered versions now. There's like a lot of people that I don't know, actually, or maybe I'm making this up, but I think there's some purists out there that sort of watch the originals, but we're going to be watching the remastered because that's the ones we've got.
Sure.
But yeah, we can get into that discussion later, but we'll go into it fresh. We won't think about what people thought should or shouldn't have happened yet. We'll just watch them as they are. As people will, if someone picked them up tomorrow, they're going to watch the remastered. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. I understand the criticism that the originals, sorry, I should say the episodes 1 till 3 have gone through, but I'm just going to watch it with a completely open mind, and you know, none of these like prejudgments. Yeah, good. That I've heard about.
Yeah, great. Well,
I guess we'll check back.
Yeah, we'll check back in episode 2 of It's Not Too Weird podcast. This was the first one. I think this was quite successful. High five.
Yeah, good job, dude.
And
it's been fun. We want to, you know, do more of these and talk about different random wacky subjects.
Just our interests, man. Just things that we're getting into, things we're trying out. We're self-experimenters, and this is our Star Wars experiment, the first one.
Awesome.
see if we can get Jack on board with it.
Yeah, you wait. I'm gonna be cosplaying. I'm gonna be writing my own fan fiction.
Yeah, some of that is great. Some of that is amazing. I can find myself for hours getting into that stuff. Like the fan fiction where they give an alternate story. If if something did or didn't happen. I love that. We
Yeah.
can get into that. There's just so much material out there. That's a great thing.
Yeah, well, you were telling me like there's YouTube channels just dedicated to
yeah,
the theories.
dedicated to it. Yeah, there's a
That's
great
awesome.
channel that I'm watching at the minute. But yeah, we can talk about all that in the
Right.
next one, and after you're buffed up, and we can.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Well, if there's anyone out there listening, we thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And catch
we'll
you in the next one.
check back with you next time.
Take care.
See ya.